Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to the Cricket Happening Show as usual. And in this part of the Cricket Happening Show, well, there was definitely one international match which was happening, and that was the first T20 match which was going to be played between Sri Lanka and New Zealand. Unfortunately, the match was abandoned due to rain without a ball being bowled. It was played in Palakele. Now, as I said, it brings the question why Sri Lanka have actually got places where rain has always been following them. As you know, even the one-day international series, even though it was 1-1-1, it was decided by the Duckworth-Lewis method. Hamban Tota was a complete a sham, and once again Palakele. So, and this is something Kyle Mills, the New Zealand captain, has definitely raised that point and said Sri Lanka have to definitely look into it and see why they are holding matches during the rainy season. And this is something pretty unfortunate because it is also robbing the spectators of actually having some fun and watching the match in its entirety. And also it is also I'm sure it would be affecting the gate receipts too, because of people not really coming in because of rain. Well, so that is for the Sri Lankan Cricket Board to really decide and really look at it in a more serious manner, and see to it that in the future they hold matches where rain is not something of a concern, and the matches go the whole hog. Well, anyway, so that was one match which I was going to talk about, but unfortunately the match was abandoned without a ball being bowled. Pretty unfortunate. So we have only one more T20 match to go, and to be very frank, and to be very surprisingly, the venue of the second T20 is also the same. It's going to be played at the Palakele cricket ground. Well, so the next thing that I would like to talk about is just talking about cricket. Brad Haddin, as you know, Mickey Arthur was the coach of Australia, and he was unceremoniously taken out, in the sense he was unceremoniously sacked. Now, Mickey Arthur, but Brad Haddin has come in. I mean, Brad Haddin has come out with a statement saying that Mickey Arthur was not really a coach that Australia would have wanted, because they feel that they are pretty comfortable with Darren Lehmann, who gives them a lot of freedom to really make their own decisions and also play the cricket in the way Australia can. The other news that I have here is coming in again from Australia. As you know, the Ashes series is about to start, and as you know, last series when the Ashes was played, there was a lot of controversy when a lot of decisions were sort of a real concern, because there was I mean the hotspot was not really able to really decide a lot of snicks whether it carried or not. So one good thing that is happening is that Snicko is back. So in fact, real-time Snicko, where you will be able to see, this is basically a weapon for the third umpire to really judge whether the edge carried or not, whether it hit the bat, whether it hit the pad, or whatever the case may be. So this is going to be a part of the Ashes series. So they will have hotspot, they will have the DRS, and they also the real-time Snicko, which is going to make its debut, which will show whether the ball really took the edge of the bat. It would really be, and it would also be a sort of a great spectacle for the viewers who would be viewing it on television, because they would have a nice look at it, and they for themselves would be in a position to judge whether the batsman was out or not, or whether it actually eluded the bat. So that is something which is going to happen. So that is some good news. And also real-time Snicko is going to make his debut in the Ashes series. So that is something. So we have the DRS, and as you know, in the umpire's decision review system also now there are some changes which has taken place. That will also be into full effect now with this Ashes series, where what one would see is that after 80 overs, normally the decision review system says that only you can go for only 2 reviews, but now both the teams would be armed with 2 extra reviews after 80 overs, irrespective of whether they use the review or not. They would be in a position to actually go for reviews. They have 2 reviews left after 80 overs have been completed. This applies to both the teams again, irrespective of whether the team has used the reviews or not. So that is something. So that is these are something. These are some new things that we are going to see in this Ashes series. Well, so running away from here now, and what I'm going to do is, as usual, the ICC World 2020 qualifier is on, and it is pretty important for everyone to know what exactly is happening. Well, as far as the ICC World 2020 qualifiers go, today there was a game which was played in Abu Dhabi. It was a very wonderful game. It was played between Namibia and Italy, and in fact it was a very close game. In fact, Namibia winning the match of the last delivery when they sneaked out a win there of the last delivery. Namibia actually replying, Italy making 121 for 6 with Raso 35. Smith from Namibia picking up 2 wickets for 23 runs, and then Namibia making 122 for 7 with Williams 57 and Van der Westhuizen 41. And as far as Namibia are concerned, they got their victory. They beat Italy by 3 wickets in this very close game. Now the other match which we'll talk about is between Canada and Uganda. So the host team, as I said, I always say this Cricket Happenings is broadcast from Canada, and being the host of the Cricket Happening show here, I am also closely, even though I am an Indian by birth, I closely follow Canada's prospects too, being a resident of Canada and actually broadcasting from Canada. Well, Canada had a good win. In fact, this was their first win in the ICC World T20 qualifier, where they actually beat Uganda by 44 runs. In fact, they had not had a good run so far. They were losing a lot of matches, and finally Canada came into their own to beat Uganda by 44 runs, with Canada 137 for 7. Jimmy Hansra making 58 unbeaten runs. Aaron Etway for Uganda taking 225. Uganda were bowled out for 93, with Gordon taking 2 for 9 and Dean taking 2 for 16, so winning the match by 44 runs. So that would do a sort of, I would say, at least give some relief for Canada to have got a win under their belt now. Now, as far as the host United Arab Emirates and Hong Kong were concerned, this match was won by the host United Arab Emirates by 7 wickets. As you know, United Arab Emirates are a very good improving team. Lots of expatriates in the team, as Khurram Khan was the hero there, making 67 not out. Afzal from Hong Kong taking 2 for 16. In fact, Hong Kong made 138 for 8, batting first. Atkinson 42, and for United Arab Emirates, Guruge took 3 for 19, Aziz took 3 for 20, and United Arab Emirates in the end winning comfortably by a 7-wicket margin. And well, after that we look at the other match that happened. That was between Nepal and Netherlands. Nepal and Netherlands, in fact, Netherlands were the ones who played the first match. This was played in Dubai. Netherlands taking on Denmark. Netherlands, they had a comfortable win too, with Denmark 109 for 8, with Mahmood making 41, and Netherlands Hassan Malik bowling very well to take 4 wickets for 10 runs. And Netherlands, in their reply, Myberg was the person who actually played very aggressively to make 54 not out, when Netherlands actually won the match by 7 wickets against Denmark. So no upsets basically. So basically what we are seeing is that things have been going pretty well, in the sense there are no upsets at all. Everything has been going as per the paper. Nepal and Papua New Guinea, both of them clashed in this match, and both are good teams. Papua New Guinea, as you know, they have been doing a wonderful job in this ICC T20 World Qualifiers. But today Nepal actually put it across Papua New Guinea to win by 7 wickets, with Nepal making 141 for 3, Bandari 51 not out, Kakurel making 38. Papua New Guinea, the hero normally would have been the batsman Tony Ura, who is a very aggressive bloke. In fact, he smoked 22 of 14 balls. But Papua New Guinea, well, they could muster only 140 for 6. Jones 55, Dai 36 not out. Katka, the Nepalese captain, taking 3 wickets for 22 runs. So in the end, Nepal winning the match by 7 wickets. As far as Kenya were concerned, Kenya. This was the only one could really call this an upset, because what happened was Kenya actually registering a very big win over Scotland. So that was an upset of the day when Scotland folded up for 91. In fact, just to tell you the story, in fact Kenya were the ones who batted first, and they made 183 for 7, with Aga making 52 not out, and Majidul Haq picking up 2 for 21 for Scotland. And for Scotland, well, one would have expected Scotland to go to that score, considering the fact that they have already they are a team who is a pretty strong team. But what we saw is a sort of a real collapse on the part of Scotland, because Scotland were doing well at particular stage. They were 84 for 4 after 10 overs, and suddenly Steve Ticolo, the man who actually came into the Kenyan team, as I was talking about yesterday, came in and really made it count by twirling in his off spinners and bowling it pretty well. The off spinner Steve Ticolo really making Scotland collapse. In fact, Scotland were looking good for victory at 84 for 4 after 10 overs. Nothing to really, they still had some batting to come, and suddenly when they need 100 runs of the next 10 overs, that is the time. And what was very important about is the way Scotland collapsed. Steve Ticolo, right arm off spinner, went on to pick up 4 wickets, and as I said, 10 overs remained, 100 runs to get, and they lost their last 6 wickets. Can you believe it? In 3.2 overs, from 84 for 4 after 10 overs, Scotland. This is something that Scotland would definitely look into their cupboard to see what really went wrong, because Scotland 84 for 4 after 10 overs were bowled out for 91, with Steve Ticolo taking 4 wickets, the right arm off spinner. And so in essence, if you look at it, Scotland lost 6 wickets in just 3.2 overs to be bowled out for 91, and that is not something that Scotland would have expected. And Scotland, I'm sure, would have been crestfallen by what happened, because they were absolutely, I wouldn't say under control, but definitely it was a possibility that they could have won the match. But I thought Scotland definitely lost it on from there. And Steve Ticolo, the right arm off spinner, had to be given the credit. He was actually, as you know, he's an all-rounder in the team, and he came in and made his position count on in a great way by getting a win for his team Kenya. So Kenya winning the match there by a very huge margin. In fact, in the end, they won the match by 92 runs, thanks to Steve Ticolo's right arm off spin getting 4 wickets. Well, dear fans, friends and subscribers, that brings an end to this cricket broadcast on the Cricket Happening show today. As I said, I've spoken about all the teams that played today, and I said that was only upset that happened, Scotland losing to Kenya in a very miserable way. Well, dear fans, friends and subscribers, this Cricket Happening show for today is all done for now. Thanks for your company, and thanks for watching Cricket Happenings. Your host Ram will see you tomorrow on the next Cricket Happening show. Until then, it's a big goodbye. Thank you.